What? The Viper, Group 3. Yeah. At Nerve in yellow, GT Sophie. Okay. Portrait of GT, another Viper, the Lancer, Supra, VGT. Yeah. Another Portrait of GT, okay. The RS1, GMG, Porsche, Supra again, old Supra, GTR, Citroen, Skyline old, the Mazda, and then, okay. You didn't look at the car list, you're gonna let them through. But they're gonna get away from me and I'm gonna drive the race alone, like, oh. Okay, you don't want to make contact here, that was the lesson. And then the car does this. Because of the gear transmission, I was up a shift, or I didn't take the acceleration seriously, or I thought, you know, after not making contact or just like keeping the car safe, I might as well just, right. So then they really do get away. And then, not that much. Well, okay, mentally in your mind you thought you were going to catch up to them, right? And that didn't happen, no. But then we do get to see more of the Viper and like the sound noise thing. Okay, so then the aspiration is like the wind. Going through the engine, and then through the cabin, and then through the car, outside and inside. Okay, when you press the accelerator or the throttle, and then the engine lights up the fuel mixture, and then it needs air for that. Goes through the engine, okay, with the air, right. But then the wheelbase says, so then this is what the aspiration will do, with the power to weight distribution and the weight. So much given left or right, in the middle of the track, cars ahead, behind, and then the noise, by the way. Okay. So then the noise isn't the aspiration. No. But it messes with it. Okay. So then it makes the aspiration worse or better, or less or more. Thank you. Okay. So then the Viper has more noise than aspiration? Right. That's what we saw when the AMG, right, couldn't pull away. Okay. Because it's like a drag or something. Like you just turn the aspirations like molasses or something. Yes. Is that because of the heat or something? Because of the noise, yeah. Like the noise is like basically like heating up the air, like, okay, but then that's just hot air goes up, cold air goes down. Like the whole Suzuki VGT thing. Instead of like straight on through, you just make it like around you. Because of the noise. Okay. Like if I, like with a speaker with like a noise, right? Okay, in one way direction, right? But then with a car, okay, every which way, but then mostly like, okay. But then don't do that. Well, it's a different drive, it's difficult, takes time to notice, you just can't do that. Okay. So then it gives you like a car list that you can do that with, or you can't do this with every car list. Well, like I said, the Viper you can overdrive, or you can only overdrive, or it's difficult to underdrive. But like the Mustang, or like the Mustang not, but then the Mustang gets out of hand, or, you know, the Mustang does. Okay. And the Corvette the same thing? Well, no. Okay. So there's less pollen on the track and everything. And then you aren't kind of driving like sore in the middle because it's such a big car. Okay. But they're not in Group 4. We'll see about Group 4. So then, you can pretty much make an engine however you like. It's just, those are the properties or characteristics, and then you have to be judicious about your choices with them. Okay. Remember, the C7 Corvette is naturally aspirated, but it can turbocharge and supercharger kind of too comfortably. And then it's like a tank, like that thing is heavy, and then it's built like, you know, the 4C, like, you know, it harkens to that. Okay. And the Viper is like flimsy, like the BMW, right? And the Mustang is stiff, again, kind of like the Lancer. Okay. Yeah, but then you're not saying like there's only so many cars, like, cause then like what about like the other ones? Well, that's the argument that eventually we just never shut up about. Okay, then. Somebody will say I can drive a Mazda. Somebody will say I can drive an RCF. And then somebody will say I can drive an R8 or a Subaru. And I have to say, well, how? And then they'll say I can just do that. Shut up, get the fuck out of my face. And I was like, okay. So when is this? It goes around like this, and then we keep repeating ourselves, and then you just copy and paste whatever you say every single time, and then you just have like a rote answer. Okay. Because then they don't know that the thing is like just like for a little bit, right? That they're supposed to accentuate or emphasize the fact that this is a car that is just partial, right? Or just like temporary, or in so many ways, right? Even if there was enough like game or like track or like race, you'd still have to hand things over to the fact that, look, it looks a certain way, it has a wheelbase and a power weight distribution, it has a weight, it has a response. You can't give me the fact that, you know, this is a GT3 car whilst also doing super formula and then group 2 and group 1 things. No matter what you do to this game. Right. Oh wait, but then no. It's how you go through the cars then. And then you know which ones are cars. And then which cars get you to other cars. Cause then like you could be like one of those. Like you do that one thing, but then you need all of these other cars to do that one thing. I wouldn't be surprised, given the update that just went up, right, about the group 1s, right? Like if those 5 cars were for real drivers in real life, right? And they said I gotta drive this one on Monday and then on Tuesday, so they would have like a diet or like a workout schedule or like a thing, like just to see like how it would do like in real life, like an exercise, like you have to keep up with your skills. Okay. Like transferable skills, like, you know, traffic and transit and transport, no? Okay, then no. Well, Taekwondo. Right, because I have like the biggest legs and like the biggest, I could kick your head open. But how about no, right? Because then jiu-jitsu, and I could just like squeeze like the thoughts and like the ideas out of your brain. And I was like, okay, but then that's a little uncomfortable, and like, where does that leave you? And I was like, I'll just then like, Kung Fu. And then I was like, right, so then, a hot hit. But then nobody says to the judo guy like, why are you so touchless? Right. I'm sorry.